Technics1200s.com. Little video here. Redoing this turntable completely, powder coating and tuning it up, making it look like new. So, doing a little test here. I've had a few people online talking a lot of garbage, I'd call it, in regards to internally grounding and how it's not good and it's not safe, and you can bring noise into your turntable, into the sound this way, and how, internally grounding is just a no-no. I don't know. I've internally ground thousands of turntables, sold thousands of internally grounded RCA kits, and everyone is lovely happy and no complaints and no issues. So that's fantastic. However, we do have people out there that want to say that they're engineers, sound engineers, they have degrees, they have LinkedIn dating profiles that show, you can make a LinkedIn profile and put down that you're Santa Claus and no one's going to take that away from you. So there's no verification of anything, but at the same time they're talking a lot of trash. So I'm just going to put it to rest. Here we have a Technics turntable. Fully stock, other than of course the RCA tips, which are cheap. But stock wire, stock ground wire, stock PCB, stock everything. So this is how you hook it up, obviously. Your tone arm, RCA, tone arm wires are all hooked up to the PCB. You have your RCA cables going to your mixer. In this case, we have a beautiful classic Technics 4-channel mixer. We love Technics, so we like sticking with it. Of course, the ground wire is hooked up. As you can see, it's been frayed, so I've wrapped it around like most people do. And that's 9 times out of 10 why people get rid of the ground wire, because it's so tedious, so delicate and whatnot. Especially people that are hooking up and unhooking a lot, and that's usually what we find. So, typically what would happen is you would have a ground wire and people cut it and they put it to one of the negatives. Okay? People say that's a no-no because you're introducing noise, static, into the sound lines, which I'm going to prove to you right now doesn't make too much sense, because now that I've hooked it all up, where we have the RCA hooked up to the phono, we have the ground wire hooked up there, guess what? Both negatives, if you touch them together, by the way, I'm going to use a multimeter doing continuity test. If you hear this sound, that means we have continuity, okay? Pretty straightforward. So now if I take this prong and I touch the if I touch the negative of this channel, as you can see, I'm trying to do this with a camera, and then I take the other prong and I touch the other channel negative, what do you know? Continuity. Isn't that amazing? How is that happening? Now if I take the negative channel, if I touch the negative side of this channel and I touch the ground, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Continuity. So in the end, they're all connected. They're all connected. Do you know why? Because look, watch this. I'll even do this test for you. I'm going to touch the negative of one of the channels, and I'm going to touch the ground over here. Isn't that amazing? In fact, if I touch any channel ground, it's going to give me the same thing. And that's from touching one of the negative channels. How can that be? That's unbelievable. That shouldn't be. But guess what? It is. That's the negative channel on one of the RCAs and the ground wire on the mixer. So in the end, they're all together. So regardless of whether or not you put the ground wire and make a ground wire modification by taking the ground wire and putting it to one of the negatives, or you have it set up like this, it's the same shit. The same shit, folks. Welcome to it. That should end the conversation.